Get ready to get a resin slam. Get a resin slam. Go slam. Go slam.
Oh, what? That one makes me angry.
Run, cross, run. Yo, we're not gonna win this.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Oh my god. You're a god. Holy shit. Go slam this last guy, please.
Oh, oh, he got him.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna talk about 5 ways to improve handcannon aim. Wasn't really breaking this down. I didn't really want to just throw out a number of ways that I wanted to help you improve your handcannon aim. I did vaguely a video way back when about how to improve aim just in general, but I never really talked about hand cannons. Now, the thing about hand cannons that I really want to point out is in pubs is just pubs, man. You know, you're going into Crucible, you're doing, you know, going against random players. You know, aiming, you know, having good consistent aim doesn't really show in those areas. I feel like the areas that it really begins to show your margin of inaccuracy really begins to show in something like sweats, man. That's whenever things really start to come to light, man. That's when you really start to sit back and like you look at it and you're like, damn, I really need to get my fucking hand cannon shot down. So I really wanted to bring that up today, man, and the 5 things that I do to improve on that. To start it off with, guys, number 1, man, I really believe sticking with a hand cannon is very important. And the reason why I say that, I throw myself off, and these are all from personal experience, but I've thrown myself off so many times by having an IS Luna and a Palindrome that I swap between 2 consistently. Now, the reason why that is, it's just they both have a different recoil patterns. That's apparent. But they also have other values that are different. They have different handling. They have different, you know, and with that handling, by the way, it's different ADS speed. They've got different aim assists. And so some of the shots that you know you can reliably hit with one, not necessarily the other. And they both have pros and cons. And they definitely both have different recoil patterns. But what I'm trying to get down is that fact that I've used both. And I've swapped between both of these too much, as in between matches, instead of letting myself get a little bit of time in between them and actually just concentrating on that one hand cannon and getting that recoil pattern down on that one hand cannon and allowing myself to adapt. This really brought on a lot of problems. I promote a lot of different usage of weapons, by the way, guys. I think, you know, having a bunch of different weapons to play with is really good. It allows you to enjoy the game. But in a situation where you're just trying to get the most superb hand cannon shot that you can possibly get down, whether it's a Finale's Peril, a Lord High Fixer, Luna, or Pally, man, I really suggest dedicating a couple days to you just practicing and playing with that one hand cannon to allow yourself to adapt, be used to it, and then you can make the call and the judgment whether or not you should make a change. But until then, you really need to concentrate on that. The second point I want to bring up, and this is really going to tie just back to experience. And that's not just experience with you using that hand cannon. It really comes down to experience of you knowing where the enemy is going to be. So hand cannon, to me, I feel like just the reason why hand cannons complement snipers so much. You know, I talk about weapons that complement each other. Hand cannons, to me, really complement snipers in the same play style because, again, same concept. You want to have your hand cannon, you know, head level. You want it to hit the enemy as soon as they pop up, because that amount of time, you know, that time to kill that we always talk about, that optimal time to kill, does not start until your first shot has been fired. And so having that reticle level to immediately hit that crit shot when someone comes around the corner just opened up that time to kill to be completely taken advantage of, because this allows you to just follow up with 2 body shots, especially if you're using something like a Luna Archetype, and you can just go ahead and put him down. That is something that is very key to me, and something that really requires, and when I say experience and why I link that to experience, is at first, in a lot of situations, you won't know where the enemy is. You don't always know where the enemy is going to come from. That's one of those things. It's almost like perspective. You kind of go into your own mind and say, where would I come from? And in that situation, allows you to go ahead and get posted up and set up, and allows you to immediately catch them as soon as they come in. Asylum is a great example for that. I love Asylum particularly because it's such a good hand cannon map, because I can get set up and I know exactly where the enemy would probably push from. So the third thing I really want to bring up, and this is something that I've also brought up before, especially when using something like Hawkmoon, is your ADS and aiming down sights. How often should you aim down sights? Somebody asked me that in one of my streams recently. You know, there is no number. There's nothing that I sit there and I say I need to, you know, be aiming down sights after every second shot or something like that. I feel like aiming down sights does a lot of things. And you know, number one, and if you don't believe that aiming down sights immediately procs that initial accuracy, just go into a private match, line up somewhere with your friend, and just shoot him in the chest when aiming in and out of your sights. You will hit that crit every single time. And I'm telling you, aim right at his chest. It will crit for you. Gamer and Guy and I tested it out, and we were mind blown. But yes, that's why I aim down sights in and out a bunch. Now, it does two things. It doesn't just proc that initial accuracy. That's very nice. But the second thing it does is something a little different and something that a lot of people don't really think about. But I like the fact of aiming out of my sights and then back down just to give me a perspective of what's in front of me. Even if the enemy is right there in front of me, right on top of me, it allows me to just get a good visual view of everything that's right there in the room with me. This really just puts into my mind that, okay, I've got these people in front of me, and this is the way I need to go in trying to kill them. You know, I might only make it through half of the shots that I think I'm going to make it through. But this is the picture that I'm painting in my head right now of where I need to go with these shots. I need to shoot this guy, shoot that guy, and maybe, just maybe, I might be able to get that fucking guy in the back. But that's kind of what goes through my mind when I ADS out. When I come out of my ADS, I get just a quick picture, a snap picture of what's in front of me. But again, that initial accuracy is more than enough reason for you to really ADS in and out of your hand cannon. Okay, so the fourth tip I want to bring up, this is something I want you to only do if all of the things that I've just mentioned has failed you. If you try to use a hand cannon for a couple days there to get it down, if you've done everything pretty much what I just said, and you feel like, you know, I'm at a wall, I can't get any better with my hand cannon shots, I need to make a few changes, is swap up your button layout to bumpers. Now, here's the thing about bumpers. I'm going to go ahead and lay out the immediate pros to using bumpers instead of triggers. Bumpers, there is no pull time. There is no pull time. With a trigger, whenever you want to do a follow-up shot, you have to pull that trigger back, right? There is a little bit of time there, a little bit of a delay that you will have when pulling that trigger. A bumper allows you to immediately hit that shot and then hit it again. And so immediately, guys, that's the reason why. That's like Scuff's trademark. You know, they've got trigger stops and all that other stuff. Essentially, this allows you to do it immediately on your controller, your basic PlayStation controller. Now let me lay out the cons for you, because this is what I ran into. I made the change, and I felt like it benefited me greatly, so greatly, in the pulse rifle range. Okay, when I say the pulse rifle range, simply I'm just meaning pulse rifles. It benefited me really well with pulse rifles, because pulse rifles really promotes you to spam the hell out of your gun. And so being able to not have any pull time allowed me to just consistently spam the piss out of my weapon. But the problem is hand cannons are really, they're not a spam like weapon. They are more of a pace shot. And so having a weapon or a gun that you sit there and just mash a button over and over again will sometimes promote you more or less to concentrate on that rather than lining up your reticle and landing a good consecutive shot regardless of the pull time. That's something I really wanted to bring up though, because I have talked to people that do play nothing but bumper in terms of shooting with their bumpers, and they have said the world of aiming and improving their accuracy has completely opened up for them. And so again, that's one thing. You know, I mentioned getting used to a hand cannon would take a couple of days. Getting used to your bumper being your trigger finger will take a couple of weeks. It's not something that I feel like the change is for everyone, but I have definitely seen the positive ways in which this one little change has affected top tier players. All right, the fifth and final thing, man, and this was something that I get really hung up on, because, you know, you ever land those 3 taps, man? You know, those 3 taps when you come around the corner, you're like, pop, pop, pow, and you're like, fuck yes, look at that guy, he just died, you know what I mean? And you're so fast, that's so fast, and you come around the corner and you try to do that again. Again, this is where sweats really comes into play, because not everybody moves like that around the corner, right? They come flying the hell around the corner. They're doing all kinds of crazy shit. You got one guy shooting you in the leg, another guy shooting you in the dick, you know, another guy in front of you you're trying to take on. So it's a bunch of stuff going on, right? And so in those situations, you know, I find that pacing shots is really more important than spamming shots. You know, I mentioned spamming shots and why I don't like bumper for me, but pacing shots, allowing each stroke to be a good, powerful one, will benefit not only you in that one specific gunfight, but and total with your teammates, especially in a situation where team shot is so vital. You know, I see people get into a panic situation because, you know, I've done this before. I've been in a situation, not really a panic situation, more or less you get hung up on that certain time to kill and you think you can spam the shots into someone. And I know we're at year one consistency, but we're still not at a level where you can just easily just spam someone down the hell and back with your hand cannon. You know, pacing shots, allowing yourself to 1 crit 2 body shots, or maybe even 3 crit them, whatever it may be. 3 shots is so much better than 4 shots. And that's something, you know, if you want to up your time to kill and put yourself at a disadvantage for you to get beat down in that gunfight, turn that gunfight into a 4 shot. Just turn it into a 4 shot. And I'm guilty of it. I do it, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, if you can consistently put someone down within 3 shots, even if you got to pace it just a little bit, you know, that little bit of time that you might lose just from you pacing just a little bit is a lot less than you firing off that 4 shot. Something I just wanted to mention though, because that was a hill that I had to climb and things that I deal with, because I tend to try to go for that fastest time to kill that I can possibly get, and that throws me off. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much the 5 tips for improving your aim on hand cannons that I got, man. You know, there's a lot of people out there that's got videos on this kind of stuff. This is stuff that has definitely directly affected me. Stuff that I definitely have to deal with. It's definitely things that I've tried in and out of games. You know, that bumper trigger thing was a really big one for me. It hung me up for a while because I was trying so hard to see where I stood on that, and so it took me a little bit. Well, guys, I hope y'all like this video, man. I'll be streaming trials later this afternoon. I hate Shores of Time, by the way. I hate this map, but I love you guys, so I'm gonna be streaming this damn trials map. But we'll be back at it, man, this afternoon with Blessius at 2 o'clock. So I'll see you guys then, man. Catch y'all later.
Low, 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 low.